All right, so let's dive into the design and the development phase. We've already been through the ideation, planning, wireframing, and outsourcing. So now that we have that developer, let's go ahead and talk about what it might look like during the development phase. I've broken this down into UI, the user interface, the programming, and then of course QA. So let's start up here with the user interface. Okay, so one method here is the KISS method. It's keep it simple, stupid. It's something that we've always used in the development world, and it's very true. Don't overcomplicate layouts with a lot of design elements. Make it easy for the user to use the interface. Don't cloud it up with a lot of extra, buttons, a lot of extra clicks, just to get to do one simple task. Always, it's really kind of the three click. It should never be more than 3 clicks away. Anything that you need to do in an application. And that's something you should think about too while you're, in that planning stage and in that wireframing phase as well. A couple of things here. There's some terms, and don't get hung up on if you don't know what any of these things are. It's okay. There's just a few terms that you really need to know that you're going to hear a lot. When you're talking with your developers or your designers. And one of them is called Bootstrap, and I had mentioned this earlier in the wireframing module. When I showed you the Bootstrap template. That basically what Bootstrap is simply, let's go ahead and open it up, is simply a library of pre-configured looks and feels. Okay, so for instance, go ahead and click this. So take a look here. Here's your primary button, success, info, warning, danger. Okay, so and then a default, of course. So what this is it basically your developer can wire this in to the application so that whenever we need a certain button, all he has to do is call that button, and there it is. The color's already done, the graphic is already done. You don't have to have anybody design it. It can be very, very simple. You'll see it does it for, here's a grid layout, a table layout. This is what it would look like in this particular library. Thumbnail, here's what the thumbnail would look like. Here's the labels. Badges, drop-down menus, navigations. I mean, as you can see, everything here is already built out. There's a carousel down here. So this saves a ton of time. And this really plays back to, keeping it simple. There's no point in making it so extravagant that it's going to take, and cost you a lot of money and take a lot of time, to go through a design phase, a specific design phase, when you can leverage something like Bootstrap, to get you started and get it going right away. Now, if you do want to go the other way and put a little sex appeal on it, it's going to be additional resources. It's gonna cost you more money. You'll have to hire a designer. You're going to go through the iterations of design. When you have a custom design, it also is going to take longer to implement that design for the developers. Again, where Bootstrap, it's pretty much a very straightforward, basic layout. The buttons are already done. All those elements are already created for you. Very easy to change those colors too. You're not stuck with what a Bootstrap library would give you. You can make those changes, the color changes, very, very simply and very quickly. So again, I'm really showing you how to do this on more of a a shoestring budget than some sort of a corporate type of project. So your user interface, just keep it simple. Leverage all the libraries that are out there, and I don't think I've ever met a developer, at least in this day and age, that does not know what Bootstrap is or how to implement it. Matter of fact, they love it because it saves them a ton of time. So moving into programming. Again, good wireframes will make this a very, very smooth process. Stick to those wireframes. Don't get crazy with features, feature add-ons, because as I said, as you go through it, it's going to be an amazing process. You're going to start to see and start to think of all these new things that you want to do. Get it out there. I mean, you just want to get it to market as quickly as you possibly can. So just make sure you stick to those wireframes and spend the time, in the wireframing phase to make them solid. And you're going to want to do again that rhythm that I talked about in a previous module is let's plan it for a once a week code push. So in other words, at least once a week, you're going to do some QA and some testing on the project to see how things are going. Make sure that the developer is sticking to the plan, to the wireframes, and that everything is functioning the way that you imagined it. So, I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about design and development at this stage because you've done so much of this in the planning phases that this should be a very, very smooth, smooth process. Now, of course, stick to the rhythms, stick to the wireframes, and it'll go smooth. Now, QA is extremely important, and the best tip I can give anybody is never let a programmer QA test. I was a programmer for many years, and as a programmer, you know every little every little way to get around something. So and they'll always take the easiest, the path with the least resistance. They'll take the easiest way to get there, and sometimes that just makes for bad usability. Just too many clicks to get something done, just because it's easier to program. Don't ever let them be the QA. You've got a couple choices. You hire a pro. There's professional QA people that are out there that you can actually get on a site like Upwork and Freelance that know how to QA things. Or do it yourself. I mean, quite honestly, that's what I've done for years. I do it myself. I know what I want. I know how it should function, especially after going through the ideation, the planning, the wireframing. I've got such a solid grasp on what I want that it's very easy to to QA check my site. And also, again, there's show a trusted colleague. Again, there's that network. Having somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and take a look at, have them take a look at what it is, because even you can be blinded by your own product, and kind of miss things. It's always good to get a fresh set of eyes on that. So really, to sum this up, again, keep it simple. Create the rhythms. Make sure you stick to those rhythms. And never let a programmer QA test. And it's best really just to do it yourself and to bounce it off, a trusted colleague. All right, so the next module we'll get into, the sales page.
Hey, it's Keith here. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how I got my start in product creation and internet marketing. Now, if you've watched the entire 7-part series for the product creation blueprint, and you want to get a little bit more deeper into the subject, which there's still a lot to know and a lot to learn. This is a course that I had taken back in 2015, put out by Mark Thompson of Digital Kickstart, which is pretty much where I got my start from. Now, this is called Seller Kickstart, and it is basically a boot camp, 6-week product creation boot camp, which goes very, very deep into a lot of the subjects that I spoke about in my 7-part series. However, this goes, like I said, much, much deeper, and there's some great tips and some great processes to get you guys started. Now, I used this course back in 2015, and it's been revamped back in February of 2016 with all new content. All the old content is still available and still very pertinent because this is a process that I use and that I was taught that you can use over and over and over again. Just certain things change over the years, as all technology does. So Mark went ahead and updated all this to get some fresh content in there for 2016. So I just wanted to give you a quick kind of walkthrough here and show you, what's in this course. And I just can't say enough about it. Like I said, it's what I used to get started, and it helped me generate in my first year, which would be last year, over $1 million in gross sales from product creation. So again, it's called Seller Kickstart, and what it'll do is, the first week here is Mark goes a lot into the foundation, the most efficient and strategic ways of creating products and programs, for your target audience. Now, again, you don't really need to know much about product creation, the process. Getting into this is for beginners. It's going to take you from the ideation stage all the way through launching a product, and there's so many little caveats within that process that a deeper look is really the way to go. So that first week is going to take you really into the foundation of product creation. The next module, you're going to go into more market research, knowing the profiles of your audience, looking for that right product, how to create that product, and really just make sure that you make the the smart choice in picking which product that you're going to develop, to make sure that the audience is receptive and that there's room in the market for it. Now, week 3, it basically goes into a much deeper look into product creation. It's basically going to give you it's pretty much the blueprint that I've spoke about in the 7-part series, the product creation blueprint. But we're going to go much deeper into it. So you're going to get a lot of fill in the blank worksheets that'll keep you, ahead of everybody else, get it done a lot faster. As well as a lot of, he talks about a lot of, the things that he's learned, throughout the years. Now, if you guys don't know who Mark is, he's done over 20 million in sales in the past 4 or 5 years. So he definitely knows. You've probably seen his products out there. So he definitely knows, this process and how to use it. So the next one there is they're going to go into the marketing funnels and optimization. Mark's become pretty much one of the leading experts in funnel creation. For years he was building products and really not putting any kind of funnel in place, and realized he's just leaving money on the table. So he really started to get into the study of funnels, a lot of testing, a lot of A/B testing, which he's going to go into in this course as well, and kind of show you what worked and what didn't, and how he really increased his sales, exponentially by adding the correct funnels behind his products. After that, you're going to go into product marketing and the promotion, kind of how to get this product out into the market, especially if you're new, how to connect with people that can help you out. There's a big network of folks out there that will help on your product launches. So he'll go into that. Now, and also, once you kind of get you get into it, you get your first product out there, he's going to show you how to scale, because as you have, more and more product, it's exponentially more, more to take care of. So he's going to show you, how to use virtual assistants to take care of the majority of that, handle your support desks. There's so many things that he goes into in this course. I really can't get into all of them here, but come over here and take a look at what he has to offer. There should be a link on the video here that will take you over to this page, and you can do a little bit more research. Now, along with this course, you're also going to get a ton of bonuses. Basically shows you how his office is set up, what kind of software he's using, what kind of hardware he's using, his equipment list, the preferred service provider Rolodex. It's taken years to kind of get these preferred service providers. Get this big list together. So he's going to share that with you. He's going to give you exact landing page templates, split test results, support, which is a big one, on how to handle the support of your products, and how you can do that, basically with some virtual assistants for a very, very low cost. As well as a physical product supplier list, if that's what you're into, and fill in the blank email sequences. So it's quite a course that is packed with just hours and hours of content, and he takes you step by step, each of the steps in this process, to make sure that you're successful. So if it's something that you're really interested in learning more about product creation, I couldn't stress more. This is the program you're going to want to get into. So go ahead and take a look at this, and we'll see you on the inside.